Hey parents, Mr. Hearn. I wanted to share some of the artwork that we got today. We actually got to do some math in class. Hope they told you about some of the stuff that we were doing. We were definitely wiping out some of the cobwebs out of our head today, working with fractions. I just want to share some of these with you guys. I love every single one of them. I put them out display so all the students can see them. Now tomorrow, and I told the students that tomorrow we're going to be talking about least common multiple and greatest common factor. So I wanted to put a video together, put on the website tonight so you guys could look at the difference between a factor and multiple, which is one of the things that everybody usually gets confused on these two. So first of all, I want to talk about factors. All right. So when we talk about factors, I always like to point out right back here at the end is the OR. The factors go along with divisors. Divisors. So what are we talking about? We are talking about the numbers that a certain number is divisible by. So let's talk about, let's say, the number 12. So the number 12, all right, and you guys may remember your factor tree from last year. All right, as I factor out, and I'm trying to think of those numbers, what numbers can I multiply by each other to give me 12? There's 1 and 12, 2 and 6, and 3 and 4. So for 12, and I'll talk about the number 12 later as we get into the year. 3 and 4. Okay, so 3 is a prime number. 4 is not. So I can continue to factor 4. So I come down and I've got 2 and 2. So if I multiply 2 times 2, I get 4. 4 times 3 gives me 12. So those are my factors of 12. Now, let's say I had another number. Let's say my other number was, let's go with 8. Okay, the number 8. So we have 1 and 8, 2 and 4. Okay. Let's go with, we'll do 2 and 4. So 2 and 4. 2 being a prime number, 4 is not, so I can factor it further. And now I have completely factored out the number 8. So now what we're looking for, folks, is the GCF, or what is known as the greatest common factor. So now I'm going to find my common factors. So over here on 8, I've got a 2. And over here on 12, I've got a 2. Over here on 8, I've got another 2. And over here on 12, I've got another 2. If I look at 2, I've got a 3 here, and I don't have a 3 over here. So if you look, you'll see that the greatest common factor, I would take my two factors and I would multiply them by each other. So my greatest common factor of the number 12 and the greatest common factor of the number 8 would be the number 4. That is the greatest common factor of 12 and 8. Now, if I'm looking for multiples, I'm talking about numbers when I multiply it. Okay? So let's look at multiples. So when we're talking about multiples, and there's an I in there. When we're talking about multiples, let's say the number 4. Multiples of the number 4. So if I start with 4, I go 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, and so on. Those are the multiples of 4. If I'm looking for multiples of, let's do the number 3. So if I have the multiples of 3, so 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. Now, if you look up here on the board, you'll see I'm looking for my least common multiple. So first, let's find our common multiples between the two. So I know that 12 and 12 are common multiples. And let's see, I've got 24 and 24 are common multiples. Now, we all know 12 is less than 24, so 12 becomes my least common multiple of 4 and 3. So tomorrow when you come in, make sure you got a cool grasp on the difference between factors and multiples. All right, guys? See you tomorrow.